Tag TV and Tag Radio be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Who could have ever imagined the demand? Higher density data center space driven by migration to new technologies requiring more power, retail co-location, wholesale co-location, modular containers, interconnections, managed services, and who can manage any service in the future without a cloud? More bandwidth, more mobile application, and of course, the king, content. It's all about today and the phantasmagoric expansion expected in 3 to 5 years. It's all about the interconnection business in Atlanta and around the globe. Greetings, everyone. It's Thursday, August 18th, 2011, and this is a special Tag Premier Member Showcase edition of Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. Up to the Tech Talk on interconnection, the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board of TelX, Eric Shepcaro. The top executive responsible for leading and directing the strategy, growth, and operations, Shepcaro has expanded TelX to 15 locations nationwide with year-over-year 2008 growth in excess of 40%. Joining TelX with over 25 years of experience, Eric has worked in the network IT industries, both public and startup companies. A former senior VP at AT&T, beyond business development and emerging technologies, he chaired AT&T's Emerging Technology Consumer Board. He also served as a VP of Business Strategy Development and Emerging Technologies and Chief Strategist, leading AT&T's transformation into a premier integrator of enterprise and application networking solutions. He held top executive positions at AT&T in application networking, emerging services, and in the steering of AT&T's entry into utility cloud-based corporate services. In 2004, he assumed the responsibility as the overall transformation officer for AT&T's accountability for creating the company's framework for the future, CEO and president of Netelligence Technologies, and leading integration, delivery, hosting, and applications business at Digital Island, and spent 17 years at Sprint, holding various positions in marketing, sales, and operations. It's a Tech Talk Tag Premier Member Showcase with the recipient of the Best Up-and-Comer CEO Award from the Executive Council, New York. And it's all about interconnection at TelX with its Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board, Eric Shepcaro.
Eric, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk.
Thank you.
So let's just jump right into this. TelX has been a great supporter of TAG, and I know you have a major presence here in the Atlanta area. But for our listening audience, tell us a little bit about TelX, and then also let's add to that your business here in the Atlanta area and also nationally.
Sure. So TelX provides co-location data center services driven by interconnection and network richness and network density. Our Atlanta facility, like our other sites, is extremely network rich and network neutral. And so if you think about public and private network growth, it's being driven by all the adoption of connected devices, network-based applications, and the rapid growth of digital information traffic overall. And that's driving growth and deployments into our Atlanta facility at 56 Marietta. We're also seeing a strong growth of outsourcing as a trend, and as most folks know, about 80% of servers are still insourced today, but we're seeing a real trend of smaller and large businesses now wanting to outsource and move to an OpEx co-location data center model versus spending CapEx to build and deploy their own data center. Finally, as I think about our Atlanta facility, It's in an ideal spot. It's not on a floodplain, and it provides a very stable environment in the southeast. Our customer base there is made up of government, education, but also social media, e-commerce, enterprises, and service providers. What we're seeing finally is that trend towards low latency, network-rich applications, and this facility is providing them access to those they need to connect to at the lowest latency possible.
And we've heard multiple views on the need for high-density data space that's being now, I guess, driven by migration to new technologies, and that seems to require certainly more power. What would your views be on that?
Sure. So we're seeing more demand in many cases for higher density space. It wasn't long ago when customers were pushing just 2 kW per rack, and now we see customers pushing in excess of 10 kilowatts per rack. And our objective at TelX is to minimize our overall power need by maximizing effectively that ratio of IT loads of total facility power to support our customers' increased needs. So what that means is we can be more efficient, we can drive more power directly to our customers' IT infrastructure, network infrastructure, and get to these higher densities. And we do that by improved air management, right-sizing electrical and mechanical plants, branch circuit monitoring, deployment of high-efficiency systems, and then finally a focus on metrics and trends so we can effectively communicate to our customers not what they've subscribed to, but what they're actually utilizing. So at the end of the day, I would say, yes, there is a higher drive towards more power per rack, but at TelX, we're driving that ability to deliver those higher density capabilities.
And businesses here are really abuzz still with this whole thing about in the cloud computing. It's been an extremely hot topic here for well over a year. It doesn't seem to be letting up. Where do you think that market will be in 3 to 5 years? Where is it today, and where will it be in 3 to 5 years? And then how does TelX play into that area?
Sure. Well, I can tell you today I can't have a conversation with a customer, a prospect, or anyone in the industry without having a conversation around cloud in some fashion. And what I would tell you is that I support most of the industry predictions on cloud and the growth of cloud, and that TelX will certainly be participating in cloud as it's a key part of our strategy. And I think we're in a great position because cloud technology takes root as enterprises and cloud providers start to provide more private networking solutions that are latency sensitive and connecting both public cloud environments and private cloud environments. So our centers, Atlanta in particular, are in an optimal position to essentially have a customer deploy a private cloud in our facility and then leverage our interconnection product line, what we call our Cloud Connection Center, C-Cubed, to connect to a public cloud where they may have some hosted applications, a SaaS-based application. Today, what I see customers mostly doing is deploying private clouds for their heavy, intensive applications that they utilize internally, and they don't want to put in a private public cloud infrastructure. But I do see them driving towards a hybrid cloud where customers will share amongst both a private and a public cloud environment. So over the next 5 years, I see hybrid clouds really taking off, and I think today we're really in the early innings of that.
And there's a concern by some of the increase in bandwidth and the capacity for organizations, for companies to be able to handle that, especially with the whole movement towards mobile applications and the content that requires. How's TelX addressing that?
Well, there's clearly a drive for much more bandwidth, as we're all aware, particularly from our mobile devices, as data has become the key application. And we continue to see a steady increase in our facilities of both private physical cross-connects as well as public peering session across our fabrics between mobile network operators and content providers. And peering fabrics and Ethernet exchanges that we offer provide a place where we can match those networks and rapidly provision interconnectivity between those content owners and those mobile providers. So as we see more applications moving to the mobile device and more mobile apps for all of these devices, clearly we see a great opportunity for our interconnection portfolio as well as our co-location and data center opportunities.
And our members listening in, they are your customers or potential customers, and so what would you say to them in terms of the changing landscape? And we've talked about co-location. You have retail co-location, wholesale co-location, modular containers, interconnection, managed services, and then, of course, the cloud. So where's all this going, and how can a company like TelX help companies today?
Sure. So it certainly can be confusing for a customer. And as I see what customers are deploying, most customers will deploy a hybrid solution. So in some instances, they will do straight co-location and then augment it with a SaaS application. So maybe they will deploy their own private infrastructure in TelX, but they'll use a Salesforce for their CRM application or a software as a service application, or they may use some other cloud or managed solution on top of their co-location. My point being, one size does not fit all, or even fit just one corporation. I think we'll continue to see modular deployments. They'll grow, but larger customers clearly want flexibility and customization to scale out, both in terms of power and space as required. So what I tell customers is no matter what you're looking for, you need to ensure that the table stakes are there. And what I mean by the table stakes is meaning the facility is secure, it's reliable, that the power is there and there are power commitments, that you can get service level agreements, and that there's a 24/7 team that can support you and automation through an online portal or other capability to support your needs. And so that's what we provide at TelX, is all that support infrastructure, the table stakes, and then we provide our customers the ability to get a very good experience from a data center and interconnection perspective.
Well, that's great. Eric, I appreciate you joining me on Tech Talk today, and thanks for having such an important facility in the Atlanta area. I know your many customers and the listeners appreciate that, so thanks for being with me.
Thank you.